I am getting into seed starting this year. I like gardening, and this is the first year I've actually done like indoor seed starting. So I figured I would show you the process of me setting up my grow lights and my seed trays and just kind of take you through that process because I don't know, I thought it might be kind of interesting. So enjoy. So I'm taking these little eye hooks, putting them in these holes, and just so my fingers don't get tired out, I'm just using my drill, just chucking it in the chuck. So now we got our boards with little eye hook things in them. And then I got these teeny tiny little carabiners. So I just cut a couple scrap pieces, 2x4, and I'm gonna put one like in between here and here. I measured it out. This is the distance I want them to be, 5.5 inches. And then this whole thing will just kind of operate as one unit. So we'll do in units of 2 units. Sheesh, this thing won't stand up. It will not stand up. I'm doing this a stupid way. I'm putting this piece right in between them instead of just putting it like on top, like that, which would be a lot easier. All right, back to the saw. This is why we make plans. Okay. I did that thing where I started recording and then I walked back outside and then came back in just so it looked like I literally just came back in. That's what the pros do. Tired of going back and forth to my garage. I should have gotten a bigger drill bit and my impact driver. Alright, here's one. Let's see if we actually did our math right. I didn't. Why? I don't understand. I measured. The piece was 5.5 inches. What? What? Guys, what is wrong with me? Oh. I know what I did. I went to the garage and I left my tape measure in here and I was like, crap, I need 8 3/4, but I don't have a tape measure. What's 8 3/4? Oh, well, a piece of paper is 8.5. So I was thinking 8.5 by 11, and I had a little like tool manual in there that was printed on 8.5 by 11 paper. So I was like, oh, I'll just use this. And I measured the wrong dimension. I did 11 inches plus 1/4. So that's why these are all measuring, oh my gosh, 11 1/4. Here we go again. Okay, I'm back. I cut the wood again. Do you ever have one of those days? I've been back and forth between this shed and the garage about 7 times now. Unnecessarily. Could have just been one trip. I brought this guy back. Didn't bring the other piece, so we gotta go get that. But I have to go run an errand real quick. And then I'll be back. All right, I'm back from outer space. Figured that would happen because it happened last time. All right, so that's basic structure. Let's just make sure this is all looking good still. We'll flip this thing over and we attach a light. I did a lot of research. You know, sometimes you do research on something and you get so far down the rabbit hole that pretty soon you're just kind of like going in circles, or rather like a triangle of benefits versus detriments, pros versus cons, you know? It's like you can't decide between those. I should use this for pointing often in my life. Well, anyway, I did that whole thing, took a break from it for a couple weeks, and then when I went back to do research, saw these, and they seemed pretty good. And I was like, you know, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. These have good reviews. The science behind it seems relatively sound. And they were pretty cheap. So, and there were a lot of lights. Came with 6 lights. And they come with these little 3M sticky guys. I think you're supposed to hold this down firmly for 30 seconds. Because that's usually how all these 3M sticky things are. But these are so light, they're not gonna fall off. They're so light. Huh? Huh? Take off the backing. Tobacco. Push down the aluminum again. We'll do 10 seconds. The way I think about remembering how long 10 seconds is, it's basically 1.5 Vine videos. There's one. I think this is gonna work out quite nicely. Not too long after we moved in to this house, we got a bunch of stuff stolen from our garage, including my table saw. It was mainly just my tools, and they rifled through our cars, and they took our garage door openers. So we had to deprogram our garage door, order new openers, and just put a bunch of tools on my Christmas wish list. But the new table saw I got is much better than my old one. I got the same exact drill press because I really loved it. And what's funny, well, funny or nerve-wracking depending on how you look at it, there may be something they took that I don't even remember having in the first place. Or that, you know, I wouldn't notice unless you told me that it was missing. Which, on the one hand, it's like, well, that's fine. I guess, you know, they stole something I must not have cared about that much. But on the other hand, it's like, there's a thing, this is the hoarder in me, there's a thing that I had that is now gone and I will never know what it is. And that sort of thought drives me nuts. And the reason I say that's the hoarder in me is, if you're a hoarder, that might make sense. I'm not like a full-blown hoarder, but I have that mentality sometimes. Where like every little thing, you know, like this piece of wood, if I were to stare at it for long enough, I could see its like uniqueness and its beauty in my eyes and be like, man, it would be such a sin to throw this away. I have to keep it around somewhere. It's not that I'm getting use out of it or that I'm even looking at it, but just in the back of my mind somewhere, knowing, in that moment at least, that this thing is safe from destruction. Like, that's a hoarder right there. And it may seem crazy, but it's true. All right, there's our apparatus. Actually, looks more legit than I thought it would. I thought it would look a lot more like janky and jerry-rigged and Mickey Mouse and ad hoc and...
Ooh, I am saying a lot of things.
So that's the apparatus. It's gonna hang, and then using these little clicky ratchet rope things, I can raise and lower the height. All right, so now I'm just gonna make another one of these, and then we'll be good to go. I won't bore you with that. All right, second one is done. This one, I got a little bit of splitting in the wood, but it doesn't matter.
Many hours later.
I put this bag of peat moss on top of my heat mat because, as you can see, it came folded up and has all these really hard creases in it. And I didn't want to like push too hard because I don't know how the heating elements are arranged in there, and I don't want to pinch one or short one out or something. But this thing's pretty heavy, and I figured if I leave that overnight, it'll help straighten it out. So let's see how it worked. It worked okay. This part's still jacked up. As long as it fits the trays, I'm good, which sort of. If those creases were out, I feel like it would give me like an extra, maybe half an inch, or an inch maybe. Kind of a bummer. We're gonna set this to heat to, I think I have it set at 75, but I guess I should read the instructions on how to set this thing. I did it by accident last night. Press and hold set button until the display blinks. Oh, I did that. Oh, here we go. Let's do 72 degrees. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's gonna get up that high. I know it's gonna be sort of below these two rafters right here. So I just kind of center it below that. And then I gotta stand up on the bench and hang these ropes off to see if we're aligned. Yeah, that works. I'm gonna tweak this for a little bit and see what happens. Yeah. There we go. This way. It's worse for the camera angle, but I think I gotta go from this side. Well, no, it's okay. You ever avoid doing like the simplest thing out of pure laziness? That's literally all I have to do. All right. Any bugs up here? Ooh, yeah, there's a fatty wasp nest in there. Wow, I didn't anticipate the power cord being so much of a hassle. Okay. Oh my gosh. You know what? The jankiest thing. Alright, we're just gonna take it off. That is causing nothing but trouble. That's pretty good. Now I just don't have my pencil, so I'm just gonna mark this. Knife. This is dangerous. Okay. Don't do that at home. Yay! That looks pretty good. We're good to go. So now, just gotta do the same thing with the other one. I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's plug these lights in and see what happens. I mean, I know what happens. They come on. Oh, by the way, this got up to 75, so now I'm gonna set it to 80. Ooh, it's gonna be bright. Look out. It's very bright. Woo. Test number 2. Cool. Test number 3. Test number 4. Oh! So there it is, my first ever seed starting setup. I think I like it. Turned out pretty much how I imagined it. Actually doesn't seem quite as janky as I had pictured. They do give off a little bit of heat. I'm actually pretty pleased about that because it'll just help warm up the room in general. I'm probably gonna go through and like figure out some little hooks I can put in. Actually, I'll just do that. I'll just watch. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. Like that. Just helps keep it out of the way a little bit. I might do a little something with these cables. Ooh, I got it. There. Just hooked it into there. It's looking better already. Is it good that I'm looking at these lights? I'm not looking at them directly, but still. That screw head is too big. Come on, we can get it on there. Just get on there. There we go. Got it. I just want to put a little bit of peat moss in the bottom so I can let this stuff go a little farther. Ooh, that opens nice. Feels like mostly peat moss, to be honest with you. What does my face look like when I'm doing this? I just realized I think I was making a weird face. I was like... Doing it again. Alright. And then the piece of resistance. Get it detached. There we go. Oh. Alright, now we're done for the night. No joking this time. I put all the potting mix in, and the potting mix was freezing, so I feel like that's why I dropped it back down to 68. So I'm not too worried about that. Alright, thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for when I actually go to plant my seeds. See ya!